Hello everybody, welcome. Give me 1 second here. So the crashes from yesterday, I believe were something to do with the playlists I was using for several of my overlays. Which essentially, so let me do this. So we got some, as they call over at Paradox Studio, some hot code here. So yeah, I'm just gonna quickly change the way that I'm running some of this stuff. So it doesn't automatically update, but it does update. So let's do let's do it this way, and then let's move that down there, and then let's scale it correctly. There we go, okay, fixed. So what's kind of irritating is the whole point is to be like sort of as easy as possible. The whole, what's kind of irritating is I need a way for these to just naturally scroll through, and I don't want to render them all into a single video file. Which would be kind of annoying, but you know, if push comes to shove, then that's what we'll do. We'll find a way to run through with that. But yeah, so now if I hit the button, everything should start scrolling. We should be all pretty good. Okay, cool. So yeah, hello everybody, welcome. I hope we're all doing good, having a nice morning. I'm kind of concerned because you know this is I've done 2 days of this now, and on neither of those days have I found a way to get videos going over on the YouTube channel at the end. But I did spend pretty much the whole afternoon yesterday writing a script up for a summary of the story and what quotes I want to splice in, and you know, what I feel was important. And I also planned out what kind of videos I want to make following it in terms of like speculation, because there's several different things that we can talk about. I did throw a little tweet up yesterday as well, showing off the golden orb in ore, which I do want to call reference to, I do want to call attention to, when we actually get in game, when I make that video, sorry. So here, if I very quickly show you, if we go in game, these back screens concern me, but I think it will work. There you go. So yeah, basically the idea was, now I was talking about this if you watch my original stream of the story, you'll see I realize this and think about this and try and talk about this in the moment. It's really hard though when there's a conversation with lots of people and the dialogue, and I'm trying to just enjoy it, and then I'm voicing this stuff out loud as well. It's kind of, you know, difficult to do the full discussion. But when I said, "Oh, is this the orb?" I wasn't talking. Someone in Discord mentioned something, and I was like, "No, I don't mean that orb. I mean this, the golden orb, the gilded orb, the auric forest, the weldwood, the pyrite peninsula." I love how many names we have for this area. An area of uncorruptible land within ore. Zhaitan's magics could not touch it. The Inquest realize it's a great power source. They try and deal with it. They can't. There are elementals in the area. Of pyrite elementals. The idea would be, is there, and you know, it's like an orb shape. It's a circle. It's a sphere, and it's like somewhat shattered and broken. But the idea is, was an elder dragon killed here once, long before? You know, we're talking hundreds of thousands of years ago, right? You know, maybe not hundreds of thousands actually. Maybe it wasn't the previous elder dragon cycle. Maybe it was the one before that. You know. Before the Forgotten and the Jotun and whatever, the precursor. What they called him in Mass Effect? They have a name for the. You've got like the the Protheans, I guess, was the previous generation, and then there was the generation before that. I can't remember what they call them. It starts with a P as well, right? Isn't it the Precursors? Or am I thinking of another franchise? Anyway, we're dealing with lore that's so old and so early that, you know, we've got nothing pretty much. But I wonder, is this an example? Is this a body? You know, and is this orb still here? I think that's kind of a beautiful idea. And it's golden as well, you know. Maybe it influenced the Orions in some way, you know, with their great, you know, Arabic golden arches and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, so I don't know. That's all I really have to say on it. I think we already know the secret. There is, of course, also those special items in game that like the pyrite dust and stuff. And I wonder if bringing those into the new patch will do something. That'd be pretty hype, wouldn't it? I'll be really sad if on one of these Skyscale collections they've just included it on there, because it will be, the mystery will be lost, and it will be, there you go, it's used for that. But in some ways I wouldn't be sad, because it would be nice to have it actually, come to mean something and be something. My good luck wishes worked well. Your exam went great. I'm glad to hear that, Jericho. I'm glad to hear that. So, yeah, alright. I guess this isn't really grabbing anyone's attention. Let's go over here. Oh, Ratchy made a comment about it. It made sense for it to be a Pyrite Dragon's Dead Heart. Yeah, I like the idea. I really do. I think it's pretty cool. So, I just want to quickly nip out of game again here, because we actually have a big mistake from yesterday. I forgot to read out the donations and the subs at the end of the stream. So, I'm just going to quickly do that now, because, I think that, I think it's only fair to people, obviously. And I think that was quite rude. So let's do that, and then I'll resolve to have a section at the end as well. I also forgot to talk to people about Patreon yesterday, which is really important. So, yeah. Alright, so we had several follows. Canada Turtle, you subscribed yesterday. Thank you very much. Dreyeftel Or, you subscribed as well. Sorry, you're hearing my Twitter there, guys. Oh, that's a YouTube video. I don't know if you guys heard that. That played super quick. That's crazy. Dreyftel Or said, haven't subbed in months, but I love your content, so is my prime. Thank you very, very, very much. And Dargosian, I guess it was Darg was the one that reminded me to point this out. So Darg tipped $7. Darg's been doing a lot of little donations, which is really lovely, and thank you very much. I think he's kind of trying to... he said, stop interrupting your stream and trying to grab your attention like a prick. He's doing awesome with that. Thank you very much, man. I don't know whether it's going to catch on, though. I think he's trying to, encourage and remind people they can donate. But, I don't think it's really going to catch on. We'll see. I think I also had a host yesterday. Yeah, I think Knocked Wolf TV and Myrna Rose hosted me. And I missed that. I feel really bad about that too. That's so bad. I'm really sorry to those guys. Alright, so anyway, we'll find a way to make this work, guys. We'll find a way. So, just, yeah, because I can't ignore a host for the whole stream, can I? Or maybe I just message people who do that right at the end and say, hey, thank you, blah, 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 blah. You know? Maybe that's a way to do that. We'll see. Okay. So let's see. All right. What do we want to do? Well, I want to nip in game and run through with our dailies and all that kind of stuff, and we'll see what we got. Animus, so happy you're back. Hope you're well. Thanks very much, Animus. That's lovely of you. Really appreciate that. Okay, so let's go into game. With this. And today, guys, we were going to do the meta. I don't know whether people are really going to be around to do it, though. I don't know whether we'll be able to get people for it. I may have to do it via LFG, so I guess we'll see. NerdyPG says, I'm sad I don't have enough charged quartz crystals, so I have to wait 6 more days to get it since I don't want to buy a growing lamp. Yeah, it's quite the gate, eh? You've just reminded me by saying that, though, that I want to get some charged quartz. And I want to sort that out. So let's go do this. Yeah, I mean, we can do the meta on EU. I'm pretty sure that's a good idea. I think I'm playing on EU as well. Yes, I am. So, oh no, not charged quartz. I just want regular quartz on my character here. And then, you know what? If I put regular quartz into a shared slot, it won't auto deposit when I. It's kind of like the perk of an invisible bag without actually having to have an invisible bag. You know what I'd really like? I'd like to be able to have like an inventory dropper tool that, you know, you spend currency on or whatever, and it allows you to, so you get a bag, but instead of it having to be the full 20 slots or 32 slots if you've gone up to Ascended, you know, which this character actually has. Instead of that, you could just pick like 1 or 2 slots, and then that will be your Ascended. Yeah, that will be, you know, whatever you want it to be, an equipment slot or invisible or crafting slot. You know, the different ones they have. WP, do you think that Krauk's dual personality is a reference back to Liss and Issa? I hadn't thought about that at all. Oh, I saw that donation. Kane A, thank you so much. 12.79. I don't know what currency that's in. I'm guessing dollars. That's really lovely. Thank you very, very, very much. That's super cool, dude. I'm really glad I caught that. I just got to recognize and listen for the sound effect. That's all I've got to do. Thanks, man. You didn't even leave a comment, and neither in chat, as far as I can see. But thank you, dude. It could be a reference to the Lissa and Issa thing. You know, because they're both purpley, I guess, right? I mean, I've never really liked the connections between those two. In a lot of ways, Kralkatorrik pairs with Dwayne better. Not in terms of, like, color theming, but, you know, their elements are, like, wind and air and storms or whatever. I mean, Dwayne isn't necessarily storms, but wind and air. And so, I don't know. Maybe it is. And what did I think about the Heart of Thorns masteries in the new map? I think they were implemented well and were impactful. Yeah, and here's the thing. I don't even think they have to be implemented well and impactful. I just think they should be there. I know that sounds really like foolish and like, you know, you want to get value out of your time with what you implement, so you best damn hope that what you put in is useful. But just that reminder that, hey, here's a thing you could interact with and you've worked on it and it's a thing you've unlocked. Or a reminder, hey, here's a special thing that you could be doing, but you can't because you haven't done, you know, you haven't done episode 3 of the previous season. You know, that's a powerful thing because people will want to go back and they'll want to get it. And people will feel reaffirmed that their unlocks and their progression still has meaning. You know, here's the truth, that most of them are going to get ignored in favor of using mounts. That's something I think that ArenaNet were very clever about recognizing when they released Path of Fire, because they tied all the traversal aspects to the mounts. Now, that's something I don't necessarily like. I would have preferred a bit of a mix, but I think it's born out of the realization that most movement-oriented stuff is superseded by mounts. So you should roll any kind of, you know, traversal mastery into mount use so that people have them together. So what do I mean? Like the jackal portals on the new map. If I didn't need to be a jackal on those, then I wouldn't really have been using that mount. But because I did, you know, I kind of, you get the 2-for-1 sort of thing. That's not an asset when it comes to like ley line gliding. Realistically, what I'll probably do is be on a griffin instead, right? Or updrafts, realistically I'll probably use a Springer instead. You know, it's more accessible. The only one that sort of has a bit of a mixed feeling is the Vine mastery. The thing is, and it's really cool. So the reason why is because you can use the Vine to latch onto a rock or something. You can fly off into the sky, and then you can get on the Griffin and, you know, or Sky Scale as well, interestingly, but obviously none of us have it yet. And then you'll be able to, you know, use a Bond of Faith and then use a thing again. So there's all kinds of stuff you can do there, which is cool. But then also, you know, the Griffin's a prestige mount that theoretically not everyone has. And the Sky Scale too. was not telegraphed in any way to be this, and I think this is ArenaNet's mistake, but feels that, you know, its acquisition feels kind of prestige mount acquisition as well. So, yes, the Vine one kind of combos the masteries together, but it's also not something many players will be doing. And so for all those reasons, I think that, you know, if you actually look at the masteries they filtered around the map, a lot of them you're probably not really going to use unless they're Path of Fire ones that are tied to the mounts in some way. But they're still cool. Even if you don't use them much, they're still cool. They're really cool. And I like them. I think it's really smart what the devs did there. And I'd like it in Corteria too. I mean, people somewhat bristle at this. And I do think you have to be somewhat careful. But what I particularly think should happen is putting the masteries in Corteria and then free-to-play accounts and people without expansions altogether and people just sort of glimpsing back at the game on their adventures. What I'm trying to do is find where these jade fragments are. I keep missing them. What will happen is people on their adventures will see this stuff and they'll realize, oh, I should do this, I should do this, I should do this. And they'll get more invested in the game because they want to get those things. It's exactly how RuneScape got so many member accounts out of free-to-play players back in the day. It's exactly how. Because you'd load into the world and you'd have like these quite clear boundaries you couldn't go past. And Guild Wars 2 has that. It has boundary here, boundaries here. It has a boundary here. Hopefully one day it will have a boundary here. Maybe here, as Shaman had speculated. The boundaries out of Lion's Arch, of which there are a couple, aren't very well telegraphed. Neither's the Ratassoon one. But, you know, you should have these obvious boundaries. These obvious, hey, there's more to explore, but you can't do it. It should be obvious to people that there's more to the game and more they can do. And then within the game, if this was like free-to-play RuneScape, there'd be, you know, all kinds of stuff dotted around where it's like, this is member accounts only. This is tied to a quest you haven't done, but the quest is like in an area of the world you haven't done. That's exactly the same as the mastery system. That's why there should be, every now and then, like a bouncing mushroom in Metrica Province, Caledon, Brisbane, right? It's thematically appropriate. Everything about that's fine. You could put a couple of updrafts. Anywhere in the world you could put a couple of updrafts. You could put thermal tubes over here. And they just needed to spend just a tiny bit of time each patch just doing that. Maybe it's something about updating old maps with new stuff is like a real pain in the ass though. So, I don't know. In terms of data and stuff, I'm not sure. But there you have it. That's what I think about that. Okay, so we've collected all of those. Let's quickly nip over to the Spud Hall. Thanks, Kane. Can't stick around since you're at work. That's a shame, man. Hopefully you can catch the VODs and things. I am being pretty good at putting them up instantly over on WP2. So that's quite nice. Okay, I'll refresh my gathering buff. Oh, do you know what? I forgot to go to the skill point and charge some quartz in the home instance. My crate obelisk. Damn it. Well, I'll gather these and then we'll see what else we can do. Bothers you too, especially when they've done the map art between maps, but they don't release it. What do you mean by that? They've done map art between maps, but they don't release it? What does Master Day mean? It just means it's my third day on this project. That's what it means. Oh my god, I love how fast this is. WP, have you been playing any other interesting games this past week? A few. I'm in the middle of a Don't Starve campaign. I play right before bed. And I still play a little bit of Monster Hunter World. They're doing an event on Monster Hunter. Where like a special boss is there. In like a special golden lair. It's like a dragon in a lair. And it drops like hundreds of different weapons. It doesn't use the game's crafting system. It just drops tons of weapons. But it's not like Guild Wars where you know, they respect your time and they don't let you get doubles and stuff like that, and there's currencies that you can use to buy specific things. It's full on classic RPG grinder, and as a result, when there's a massive pool of items and you can get duplicates, you might never get the thing you want. And that event's going away, so actually last night I played a little bit of that, just trying to get a hammer, but I didn't get lucky, so. Now you have to ask what project I'm working on. You can find all the details to that on Wood and Potatoes 2, where I've got some VODs already talking about it. But the idea is it's just a stream where we play the game. But the idea is to unlock as much stuff as possible throughout the game. Okay, cool. So charged quartz, and when I deposit, it doesn't go away. Lys's inventory is a bit of a bomb right now. But that felt pretty good how much we got to deposit there. Okay, so let's go back to the new map now. Lys is beaten the patch, so I can just go there on her. Now, oh, that's Ember Bay. That's kind of weird that my instinct was to go there. Now, one thing I want to know about is the new home instance node. Have you guys seen it? Have you guys got it? That's something for Master, and there's something to do. I'm also going to set up a squad, so if you guys want to do the meta with me, well, actually, hold on. Let me see if there is a squad. Central Tyria. Dragonfall. New meta. Meta almost done. New meta north. Okay, so I'm just going to join this squad and join their server. And I'm going to do this meta with them. And hopefully we don't crash or anything. And I'll see how it goes. Now, if you guys want to play, all you have to do is type /squad join Lys and you can join me. That's totally up to you. You're more than welcome to. But I'm not going to make my own, and I'm not going to, you know, spend ages on the stream trying to ferry people in. Because ultimately, I don't think it will feel very much. Interesting. Curious stones from afar. Blossoming mist armor. Tributes. Okay, well, we'll leave that as it is. Now, where is everyone? Okay, so they're at the green tag, and they're over in the underworld area. So I guess we start here. Ratchy says, I have the new home node. Where did you find it, Ratchy? Anywhere good? We're playing on Europe right now. I like that we have the packed walls going on. So what I'm going to do for the sake of my sanity is I'm going to try and ease things up a bit here by disabling reflection, shadows, and dropping processing to minimum. Oh, we're escorting an awakened A-bomb. Interesting. I don't know how late into the meta we are. So let's see. Camp Tier 1. Brandstorms near the Crystal Bloom camp have been disrupted.
All right. Time to introduce our friends to Kralkatorrik. This fight's only started.
Okay.
Exactly what we get when everyone's working together. Like a family.
Speaking of which, they're asking us to send over Eternal Embers.
A very needy family with an unquenchable desire for high explosives. Let's get to it.
This family stuff, they're laying on so thick.
We use them to blow up the Brandon, so they're pretty useful. And they're all over the burning forest.
Okay, I've just realized you guys probably can't hear this very loud. So let me turn that up. There you go. That should be a bit better, right? Do I use one PC or two? Actually, only one, but I'm interested in using two. I'm streaming 1080 30, so it doesn't actually matter if my personal frame rate goes much lower than it normally is, just as long as it doesn't go below the 30 mark. The fear of memory errors and crashing in these high intensity things, that concerns me somewhat. So there's actually a scout here. Let's speak to the scout. Scout Neeson, and see what he says.
We know so little.
Commander, here's our latest scouting report on activity in the Burning Forest. I can point you where you need to go. Okay, so that actually didn't do much. One thing that's a bit weak in the script for the video I'm putting up soon is the Crystal Bloom stuff. I'm not sure I quite get it. Does anyone in chat want to fill me in here? Where did the Crystal Bloom come from again? And why are they calling themselves, you know, a specific band of merry men? What's the idea there? Right, okay, so you guys are telling me the node comes from the Fissure of Woe one, which is where we are. I don't know why I said Underworld. We're in the Fissure of Woe. That's fine. So we're at tier 2. The Crystal Bloom is building a stockpile of Eternal Embers to aid the assault on Kralkatorrik. So we're just grabbing Eternal Embers and we're giving them to this hunter here.
If we want to keep up our offensive, we'll need more of those Eternal Embers.
Okay.
You can only get them in the Burning Forest, so it's up to us to make sure they're distributed properly.
And we have a Silverway style progression bar here for influencing this camp. So we just do things basically. I think that's fine. Okay, so there is an event here with the Shadow Monk and remaining enemies. This is the first event I think I did on the original stream, isn't it? I believe so. This guy's dying and I'll help him out, I suppose. Oh, that was weird. I was expecting to unload and be a Reaper for some reason. Oh, well. Nothing quite like using Drake's Breath on Drakes. So this becomes a special action, doesn't it? Oh no, they're just items. Oh, interesting. So the devs have set it up here that you actually need to you actually need to channel these things. That's interesting. So where is the event? I guess up a bit? All the mobs look clustered, like someone's fighting them. So I can't remount, so we have to kill this guy. Probably would have been better to go with this. I mean, I don't know about this whole Condi build business if I'm doing a meta event. We'll see how it feels. They have Aspect Mastery too? Wait, Aspect Mastery? But apparently it's not relevant. What do you mean Aspect Mastery? Miss my flame wall. This is honestly such an awful low quality of life build. Take the Shadow Beast out. Oh, and that pushed the influence up quite high, actually. So another Eternal Ember here. Oh, and one here. So let's see what method of collection this is. Purely client size, or is it like Heart of Thornsy, where once the first person picks up, it will disappear in a second, but anyone else immediately getting it? You know, because that happens a lot in Dragon's Stand, some of those side events. This is like the equivalent of a Dragon's Stand side event we're doing right now, you know, where like you're on the north meta at the very beginning and you grab those crystals, not crystals, what are you grabbing from those wyverns in that tree with the bouncing mushroom, and then you drop them down and you drop them into delivery. Do you have any Eternal Embers you can spare? We'll need more for the assault on Kralkatorrik. Sure, take these, every ember helps. If I'm more, I'll let you know.
So, I never asked why you volunteered for this suicide mission.
I'd heard of Orin's struggle against the Crystal Dragon while in the Grove. I was quite simply fascinated.
Seemed like everyone was. News coming in every day. Then, Thunderhead Keep.
Yes. It was devastating. I dropped everything to go see her, to pay my respects.
Everything? Just like that?
The world might
You all
end.
really came through.
What difference
Everyone
would it
should be
make if
set
I
on Embers
stayed
for
or
now.
left?
The Branded won't
And
know
now,
what hit 'em.
we get to be a part of this.
Okay, in the background, the meta dialogue said, you all really came through. Everyone should set embers for now. Should be set for embers. Branded won't know what hit them. And we're at tier 3 now. And we're pushed up pretty high. AKCSL says, what do you think of the 1 hour cooldown on the Infinite Teleport to Friend 800 gem device? I think it's necessary to not invalidate everyone's regular teleport to friends. I was actually happy to hear about it. I get that it's like so much more of a weak thing. The fact you've included the price in the comment makes me realize, you know, tips your hand. You don't think it's value for money. Which is maybe perfectly fair. and there could be a problem with the price. But the item itself, I actually think it's nice that it has the owl on cooldown, because it doesn't make this feel totally useless to me, should I get one later. Oh!
I just thought, the burning forest, trees always on fire, and your people came from a tree, so...
No, these trees are shades, shadows of their once living selves. Kind of like you.
What on earth was that? What on earth was that? Okay, well, we heard the dialogue. Dude, this is kind of creepy. I don't know what this is. This is very uncomfortable. I really don't like the idea that the screen could just crash at any second. It's really concerning. We didn't crash, though. We dropped 17 frames in a little remix, and then it moved on. Okay. Oh, I just want to remind people as well. As the streams go along, I'm not saying that what just happened was clip-worthy, okay, but it did remind me of this. Please feel free to clip stuff and share it. The really popular clips, hopefully, through myself or through Darg, we'll find a way to get on the main channel, like with more like Twitch montages and clips compilations and stuff. It's really important to me that this actually helps the YouTube channel, so you know that could end up in videos. So if you guys like making clips, please feel free to. I've only ever made like 1 or 2 in my life, but they're really easy to do. So if you make clips, and the popular ones, the ones that end up getting shared around and people enjoy and whatever, they'll probably end up in videos, you know. So yeah, just keep your eye out for those. Nomad says, I find 800 gems for infinite TP to friends to be worth it. I've opened hundreds and hundreds of Black Lion chests, and I've maybe got 15 to 20 Black TP to friends. So I just bought one because fuck it. Yeah, I like it as a kind of, you know, a service for the account kind of thing. You know, and I'll buy a lot of things that I really don't need. So like, for example, this home portal stone. I own this, not because it allows you to skip tutorials, which it does, and I'm actually most happy about with it. I bought this just because I was like, oh, that sounds kind of handy. And I think that was 800 gems as well, you know. Like, but yeah, I think it's a cool idea for an item. I'll tell you what, the infinite TP to a friend.
There's the chopper! Commander, thank you. I would have died here without you.
Alright, so she's off. Oh, did we just tear up again? Oh yeah, it's upgrading. Upgrade remaining in 45 seconds. The fact that there's now an infinite one that you can do once per hour makes me wonder if there's some interesting challenges you can do with that. I don't know what. But like, for example, the idea of speedrunning the personal story has always been something that really fascinates me. But true speedruns of the personal story would be done with, they'd be co-op speedruns, where while I'm in the first instance of the game, my friend who's in my party runs to another area of the world and stands at the entrance of the next instance, and then as soon as my story instance is finished, I TP to a friend to him. And then I've skipped all the open world progression to get to where he is, and then I do that instance, and you like leapfrog. That would be a true speed run. And I've always loved the idea of a cooperative speed run, but you know, people don't have enough TPs to friends to like practice that kind of stuff and get good at that kind of stuff. So the infinite one might help, but then the hour cooldown is kind of prohibitive, and so, you know, I haven't thought very deeply about it ultimately, and I think if I do, I'll realize it's still not a very tenable idea for a series. But if you had a 0 cooldown, infinite TP to a friend, you could do stuff like that. You could do co-op speedruns.
Except you. I swear I won't harm you.
Interesting. Okay, so we're at tier 3. The Crystal Bloomers weaponized their Eternal Embers. Field testing is now required before they can be distributed. Complete nearby events. There are crystal assemblers nearby that need to be destroyed. And this Doliak's on its way, so I'll escort the Doliak, I guess?
So what are those shadows everyone's fighting?
Oh, here it is.
Are they undead?
Just normal, Dad. Heard someone from the Priory talking about how they're cursed to fight Balthazar's Eternals.
Cursed?
I wouldn't worry about it. This place came from the Mists. The rules on what's dead and undead are all different.
Little too familiar for my tastes.
Oh, this is interesting. They actually call attention to the word curse. Now that I see that in game, maybe there is something. Maybe we are meant to be thinking about the curse. Is there a reason why it's an hour and not like 10 minutes or 20 minutes? Yeah, I mean, if it was 10 minutes, I would maybe still feel happy to have 197 regular ones. I mean, here's the thing. I'm in a position where I've got loads of these, and I don't want to feel invalidated with my hoard of these items or whatever, so I'm kind of happy the new thing has an hour. To be honest, if I'm being genuinely truthful, I think ArenaNet should ignore people like me in situations
We've marched
like
through
this.
some nasty places, but this is in the top 3.
So,
I know. That place was pretty bad. But at least the ground there wasn't part Elder Dragon.
so what are the 3 you think? The jungle, or, and now here, one for each expansion. I think they should ignore people like me. When it comes to like resonating slivers, if the economy's broken, we mentioned this in yesterday's stream, so this is why I'm coming up with this. If the economy is so broken because supply is so utterly insane, delete the supply. I mean, that's what I really feel. Now, what I'm saying is like heresy, I believe, and like you should never do that with an MMO. And oh, it's so bad. But I really, really, really just think do whatever services the game best. You know, give people some crappy little token of, hey, well done, you invested in this thing. Now we're deleting all your stuff because screw you, the game needs to be better. You know, and in any situation like that, I think you should just always put the future of the game and the systems of the game and the longevity of the game over the whims and wishes of an elite minority. I think you should always do that. But they don't, because I guess, you know, bad word of mouth, bad PR. You know, you'll end up with an article on some backwater website that ends up getting a lot of traction saying, ArenaNet dishonors its player base. So I don't know. I'm a bit cavalier about this stuff, and obviously I don't work in the industry, so maybe there's very sound reasons.
The
to not do
plates
things
of
my way.
Ashford weren't nearly as bad as this. Come on!
Huh.
You had your ghosts and your angry char, but at least there were roads. Do you see any roads? No, didn't think so.
Okay, so she's not a member of the pack. She's not seen all that we've seen, so they're bad places. The Plains of Ashford. That's fantastic.
You want to stop this caravan? You gotta go through me and Augie. Let's go!
This is cool. I like these two. That's the kind of dialogue I really enjoy. I love just hearing about other areas of the world.
I'll admit, I expected more from Kralkatorik's best. Oh well. Everyone, let's go!
Oh, this is cool. Yeah, the stuff you earned, we're taking it back. You should have titles expiring. You should have all kinds of stuff expiring. I don't know. I know what I'm saying is heresy. Oh, it's an MMO. People like collecting and they like... But I'm not talking about... I'm not talking about removing all sense of account progression. I'm not talking about deleting people's characters wholesale. And, you know, things that are clearly designed to be permanent accomplishments. If the mastery system is pretty much rubbish, go back on your implementation of the mastery system.
Courtesy of the Order of the Crystal Blue.
I'm gonna get these soul binders unloaded.
Yes,
I'll
and
see you back
Augie
at
too.
camp.
Nice work, everyone.
Caught up with us somehow.
I was worried before that maybe our tribe wouldn't be strong enough to help.
I think we've all proven ourselves. We belong in this fight. We will win this fight.
I hope so.
Sorry.
We will win this fight.
The Omicron are the lamest chart I could possibly fathom they have ever written. Oh, I don't know if I'm strong enough to make it. Maybe I should just go home and relax in the water.
Everyone's on edge. It's almost like this place sucks the life out of you. Maybe it does. It was made by the human death god. Which one?
There's more than one?
I think. I talked with that human a while ago. The one with the elegant chestnut mane.
Logan.
Yes. He said there was one, but then there was another one. I think they fought a war at some point.
Death gods fighting each other. Why am I not surprised?
Dude, this is incredible! Logan talking to Char about Doom? What? That is incredible. That is like some of my favorite dialogue in the whole patch. Did you guys hear that? Did you hear the way she mentioned Logan as well? What? That's fucking awesome. That is so cool. This camp has some serious problems with, you know, too much dialogue overlapping. I realized they've just taken us to the underworld area, and what I really wanted was the Fissure of Womaz. So let's go back. We're now at tier 4, apparently. But we gave Eternal Embers to another camp, so the camps interact with one another. That's also really cool. And I guess this one's also... Oh, where's the Zerg? The Zerg's off over here. They're moving in quite a direct way as well. No, we're still at the same tier. It still has the same description on the meta. Remaining enemy. This is for the escort, I guess. I guess we can do this for the escort. How would you rate Necro for raid CMs and fractals? I think it's an underrated class. In terms of quality of life, I think it's a very high quality of life class. I don't really raid. I have a friend that raids. He was telling me that he had a break from the game and he came back recently. He's very good at it though. He got like world first for North America on the previous raid release. I think it was him, something like that. Anyway, he was telling me that he was sort of watching in pugs what people's, you know, damage was like in raids and stuff. And apparently one of the most impressive players he saw was a Reaper, which was kind of interesting to hear. I do think it's a very high quality of life class. It's just not, you know, as bursty as some other ones, and it's not got as much as utility as other ones. So when you really start min-maxing and pushing the game to its limits, it starts to fall to the wayside a bit more for PvE. Traditionally has done so. But that doesn't mean it's bad necessarily. It's just communities that don't know much about the game always fixate on the top end, and foolishly so, in my opinion. Yeah, world first for NA, yeah. I used to say that ironically, and now apparently it's just a part of my fucking...
Thank you.
Or maybe it was just straight up world first, I don't know. Who got that on the Kadim raid? Oh, Grimjack's in chat, so maybe he actually knows. Yeah, SK, yeah. That was them, yeah. That was them. Okay, so hold on. This is, you guys have got me thinking about something different here. This is a Soulbinder supply bull? So that's from another camp, right? I guess the Soulbinders are coming from the Underworld camp? This A-bomb escort is, I probably already got credit for, so maybe I'll go to... Wait, where did the tag go? Oh, the tag's just up the road a bit. Let's go on a Raptor and see what we've got over there.
Oh, hello there.
Wait, what? Was that Zephyra's nest I just got? Did that just say Zephyra's nest? Sniper's nest. Be within earshot of Zephyra when she starts picking off enemies. Really? Is she actually...
Gotcha.
Oh, that's nice. What? That's a cool touch. I think the guys doing the open world stuff have really impressed me on this patch so far. Okay, so they are escorting a Crystal Bloom Knight. There's the Soulbinder coming to the camp. We got a Mistborn key for that. He's moving super slow. Can we give him swiftness over? Yeah, that is a nice shot.
The creature is nearby. No turning back.
Oh, I see. We got a Forgotten doing some kind of ritual over here. This one's tagged as a group event, so I guess it's a little bit more significant. Stop the branded Mender from collecting magic for Kralkatorrik. Oh, here we go. Oh, the camp, is it T4 now?
We can't let it get away!
Oh, this is cool.
Those collectors! Hurry! Destroy them!
So they paired Omakhan with Fissure of Woe, General. This is the Omakhan camp. I wonder what else we have. What am I supposed to be hitting? This thing? Oh, yeah.
It's weakening!
Oh, okay, so we got all these collectors in this ring. Oh, I shouldn't have flame walled on that. I actually maybe get to do a bit of ramp on a fight like this. Oh, he's moving. Signal fire as we close the gap again. Just gonna spam barrier basically. Because knowing my luck, he's just essentially gonna have some kind of one shot. And I'm not gonna know exactly when it's coming. Can't see my flame wall telegraph, so he definitely does that. I don't know what to do at this point in like the dagger rotation, if you will, because there's like quite a gap there before Grinding Stones comes back. And here I've missed the new Primordial stance. I probably should have waited another second. Zip back and go like that.
The Spear Marshal will be glad to hear this creature has been dispatched, at least until another takes its place.
Wow, that's a bit crazy. So the Spear Marshal will be glad to hear this creature's been dispatched? So these Awakened are full-on just interested in working for the Spear Marshal now? That's crazy to think about. You know, Joko's yoke is released from them, relinquished, and if they were honourable in life, then they flood back to the Sun Spears. Was he actually a Mordant Crescent, or was he just an Awakened? They don't really talk about the Mordant Crescent that much. Those guys, the way they were described in the Movement of the World, were probably one of the main things I was inspired about in the entire premise of going to this region of the world. Oh, come on. Where? Where is this Hydra? 100% Hydra, Health Hydra, Meteor's me, the second I'm about to break out of combat. Thanks. I just want to mount. This one's particularly weird feeling because I desperately want to mount to tag an event. So getting randomly thrown in combat on this one is just like that extra bit frustrating. Oh, I see. So we're all scrabbling against a tree that we probably shouldn't be. Let's get onto this branch here. We can bond of faith if need be. Remaining enemies. This one's running out pretty quick. Shadow Beast is dying. I might miss it. Ah, no, he's pretty high scaled. It's so weird, like, these things scale to the extent they do. Basically, just what people tag stuff. Excuse me. I did a bit of drinking last night, so my throat's a bit crammed up. At what point in this event chain is the commander technically supposed to miss? Oh, you mean when we're in the cave and they say, oh, they've done damage as well? I don't think it necessarily is an event chain, is it? Or are you talking about something else? Now, these thermal tubes are good, because these really can exist alongside mounts, you know. If I can Griffin at the top of the arc on these as well. Yeah, you can. You just have to trigger a glide first. So that's 4 masteries I've used in sequence right there. You don't really think about it, but that's what happened. It's really nice to be able to do that. I haven't finished the meta yet, so I don't know how it ends. I don't know what it looks like. I've seen the ending cutscene. It played last night, yesterday, when we were doing a story playthrough. I guess I'll just stay with the tag. If we're 4 out of 4, though, what's Mist Warden camped here? Omakhan, Mist Warden.
So, what brings you to the end of the world?
I was a follower of Balthazar. Then I heard one of our own was fighting alongside his murderer.
That must have been difficult.
Balthazar tells us to face adversity head-on, to never hesitate. So I came to confront her.
And now you're here. I suppose the priestess's words inspired you.
The spirit of Balthazar lives on in Aurene. I wasn't just inspired. I was home.
Interesting. I guess. I like hearing the backstories of all these people. I'll tell you what, there's only one YouTuber you guys should have your eyes on right now. Only one, and it's Releski. Because he does videos where he compiles all the ambient audio and lets you listen to it in a nice way. He gets rid of the UI, and he like he'll edit the subtitles on screen as well. He's really consistent with it. I looked at his channel just a couple of days ago and saw he's still uploading. He's still doing the project. And when new Living World episodes come out, he works on those. This one's going to be a blast. That's Releski. Check him out. Oh my god, I'm so... What? Alright, so we have a double escort over here. Hopefully I didn't miss the introductory dialogue here. The commander just said, protect these NPCs. Once this event chain is done on every lane, it's meta time. So, oh, we have Asura with us. Engineer Zad. I like this. It's such a like medley.
Like the first reflector site. Time to bust out the tool belt.
Engineer Chammy. You know what the devs have done that's really efficient? They've not added press F dialogue on any of these NPCs. It's just the voice stuff. And that lets them put so many events in. It's interesting to see all the things they've realized are sort of useless and that they can cut away over the years. Fight for Aurene equals serving Balthazar. Well, because she has Balthazar's magic. So, there's a really nerdy point I'm going to pick out with the story in the video you guys will see later. It's written in the script, so I don't mean to repeat myself too much, which I essentially am doing if I mention it on stream.
At maximum efficiency, all in a day's work.
But one really crap thing about the way that the devs have written the whole story at the moment, and it is one of those like super pedantic,
then get your own lore item into that
kind of things that I can just imagine they cringe to hear people talking about. But I'll talk about it. It's you know, while you're in oh, that dialogue's bugged. I don't hear it, I guess. While you're inside Krauk, you know, you get the aspects of the various magics that are within him, and you fight Balthazar in there. I don't think you should fight Balthazar. And I don't think all these people should be following Aurene just because they cared about Balthazar. That is not the story. Balthazar's magic is not within Aurene. Maybe just a little bit, alright? But not that much. Where Balthazar got his power to do everything he did in Path of Fire was from a bloodstone. That's where he got it all. So, are we coincidentally just going to suggest that all the magic within that bloodstone was also fiery magic? Or maybe we have to add another layer.
Just perfect. No fluctuations in the beam, and the mirror shows 0 imperfections.
Maybe we have to add another layer of nuance to this story, the Bloodstone story, and express that the magic that was bottled up by the Seers, I forgot which of the races it was for a second there, which is really bad considering how recently I did the Bigger Ra thing.
I could build these reflectors from
Maybe we need to add another level where we explain, you know, that the magic bottled up by the Bloodstones was very pure, and whoever takes it can transform it to be whatever they want. But if you do that, it runs really against the grain of those initial human interpretations of the Bloodstone magic, that each was of a specific school, like domination and subversion, or whatever the 4 terms were they used. Which, yes, I know the devs like have retconned out and have like turned their back on many years ago now, but still, it's going to feel a bit tacky if they do that. So, you know, I just think that I think it's important they remember what the story was they told in Season 3.
Lay beam is holding steady at 99% efficiency. Plus or minus 1.
It would be nice if they did wholesale forget Bloodstone Fen and the Lazarus stuff and where Balthazar got his power. And you know, the why this is important to talk about is that what they're actually really doing is glossing over something very important, and that's that the other gods beat the shit out of Balthazar and took his magic away from him. That's a whole, like, story. Was that a confrontation on the level of the Abaddon story? If it wasn't, why wasn't it? Because of Lyssa's subterfuge? You know, these are things that should be getting talked about. These Zaishan and these people that followed Balthazar, like Zafira, who are now following Aurene, they should be pissed off with the other gods, really, right? They should know the situation. They should be getting that Whitlock's secret of finding a binded up old man who deceived him in the mists and freed him. When that becomes common knowledge, okay, then that should cause ripples. That should make waves. And if it's not common knowledge, the game should have expressed to us that fact and talked about it. But all of this like stuff is glossed over, and I don't like it much. I think it's a bit messy. But I don't know whether that's just because they're getting away with glossing over it because it was so old, you know. And that makes me shudder to say, but you know, we're now 2 seasons back. So who cares about Bloodstone Fen anymore, right? But, you know, I'm thinking about it. I want the whole story to be cohesive. You know, what they did with Joko rolling into this arc of Aurene's revival and stuff was beautiful. It was brilliant. But try and have that same level with all the stories you've been telling. I know to a great degree you've been making it up as you go along. And that when Whitlock originally went in the mist, you didn't know he would find Balthazar there and stuff. I know. But you gotta find the retroactive way to deliver this. I don't think we'll ever hear about that stuff. Devs probably realised halfway that they opened Pandora's box. There's no way that you give them too little credit. There's no way they realised halfway that it was Pandora's box. They always knew it was Pandora's box. There's a very big reason that Guild Wars 2 at launch in Season 1 and in those earlier days was kind of trying to turn away from the God story because they felt that they'd sort of told the stories they wanted to tell there and it would get really messy and really big and really strange if they kept up with it. So, you know, have them leave, exit center stage. And then, of course, nerdish dickheads like me were begging for God Lore for years, and the devs realised the community really loved it, and they reintroduced elements of it where they felt appropriate, but they would have always known that it's very difficult subject material, full of loose ends and strange, you know, cul-de-sacs that really are quite dangerous to put on a main platform. But they have to an extent here. Really, this just all ties into the Rytlock myth, more than Balthazar or anything else. This is just tying into Rytlock's story, his time in the mist, what it meant, and all the plot holes and loose ends that there are involved with that. Which I think that they might just be trying to get away from really quickly. Can I turn down the in-game volume? It's a bit hard to hear. Okay, there you go. I turned down the volume. My volume is as high as it will go, so. Have I read his post on Shaman's post on Reddit about initial direction of Season 4? No, but he's told me the details of it. I might talk about it in a video at some point, but I'm a bit behind. I've got like 4 ideas for big videos I want to do. This event is huge. Just like a really long escort here. I guess the way this is set up is to have a nice long escort, thus allowing other lanes to catch up. This is worrying. Why have I got a leave instance prompt? Do we not have enough people? If you guys want to join, you're welcome to. The commander said that they're posting on OFG. This is on EU servers. If you don't have an EU account, it might be a really good idea to pick up a free-to-play one. There's a link below the stream to do that. Oh wait, with a free-to-play one won't be good enough. You would have to buy Path to 5 in this content. But just in general, it's good. What people don't realize you can do with Guild Wars is get a free-to-play account and like level characters and, you know, finish the game and get stuff and sort of be ready for things. And then later on get an expansion if you like. And then you just sort of slowly build it up, if that makes sense. It's good to have just at least as a baseline. I really think every player should have their regular account and at least one level 80 character that's explored most of core on an alt account. Just at least that as a baseline, because then when current events and things come out, and when guild missions are going on, and when all kinds of things are happening, you can cross over. And when community events are happening. So we got mischarged shoulders for doing this meta. There's no real dialogue there. Maybe back at the camp there's dialogue firing. Should we go have a look? This feels a bit like a hybrid between Dragonstance Silverwaste and Verdant Brink with the camp upgrading. Oh shit. I shouldn't have waypointed. Damn. I gotta get back there. It looks like there's more events rolling. Oh, I just heard a roar or a horn or something. You're gonna have to do this meta multiple times, I think. Oh, I can waypoint to the shrine. Right, of course I can, because it's a wait, what shrine? There's no shrine there. It's okay, I'm almost there now anyway. Damn, I don't like how the map is not filling up. Where is everyone? Like, much higher than me, it looks like. So now I have that problem of needing to break combat on the Raptor, to dismount the Raptor, to get on the Springer, to climb. Okay. I think Griffin is probably a good shout from here. Get to this maybe, and then we could Springer. Bond of Fate. Oh, okay, we latched on anyway. And now everyone's here. Oh yeah, we probably missed dialogue on that. Damn. I'm gonna Griffin on this. I guess that's a pretty intimidating Raptor jump. I think it is a Raptor jump, but it's a pretty scary one. I wonder if there's a thermal tube. Whoa, what? Do we fly into that? Oh, this is so cool. So I can choose which I want. Ember. Oh, the Brandstorm is gone. A path to the Crystal Dragon is open. Kralkatorrik, weak point destroyed 12. So we're off. Sky Scales and Griffins and Gliders. This is the Tornado from Jahai. That's cool. So that would launch us in the air, right? And we would glide off of the top of it. Oh, you actually fight on his back. I didn't even realize that one of the events would be on his back. That's awesome. You really do get to live like every part of the fantasy of killing an Elder Dragon. Flying on the outside. You get everything. Going inside him, fighting along the outside of him. Doing battle with his head on the previous patch. Our open world has really been improving my opinions of the patch by a lot. Just this stream here alone, I've seen so many things I really like. Split up, smiley face, he says. Okay, so weak points destroyed. Well, where do I find a weak point? What's the point in splitting up if... Just random double dodging from ability if you've not noticed. I'll stick in air for the 20... Oh, I'm not air specialized, though. Is that a weak point down there? What is that? Oh my god. So the tail movement thing, a lot of people will see, right? Because I got in combat with this. What are these good against? Just against branded. So you can like CC chain stuff, basically. I feel somewhat alone here. I'm just going to stick with the tag. I don't know why he said split up. Because I feel like there was nothing to do if I split away from him. There you go, weak point. I should probably hit this, or I might not even get credit for this event. There we go, we hit it once, like twice maybe. Oh, he roared, he didn't like that.
Our scouts tell me that Kralkatorrik is generating a field of brand conduits over his body. Not ideal.
Brand conduits. I really like that this fight has been spread over 2 patches because it makes it believable to me that we're now walking around on him and that it's been like that sense of a war of attrition that Core did so long to set up, you know, and that it actually does take a lot of effort. Like, I actually buy, and this is earned to me, I do buy that we get to walk around on him without immediately sizzling and frying with lightning and storms, because he's weak, because he's been absolutely messed up over the course of the past 2 to 3 instances, right? And they've established so many story things and elements here in bringing him down. I think it is working for me, it really is. I would res that guy, but I'm a cruel, heartless bastard. Oh, of course, we can use our spears and stuff on mount again. So, oh, the Menders are keeping it alive. This is like Dragonstand as well, then. Where, you know, you get like vine tenders, right? And of course, Krauk would have adopted those techniques. When you go to each of the shrines during the meta, there is unique dialogue between the NPCs. Nothing special. Oh, that's cool. Thanks for the information there, man. I'll definitely look at that at some point. Okay, so the death-branded Wrathbringer, Hydra, or Matriarch. I want to go to the Wrathbringer. Is he down? Is he on the floor? Alright, well, whoever this is, we're going to kill this one. Alright, it's the Matriarch. Ow. I'm scared of him. Can I do big ass break bar damage with this? Big ass, I said, and it barely affected him. Okay, I'm just going to keep throwing them. Once they're all thrown, I'll consider my job ceasing to be done, and I'll make with the Condi damage. He countered my he's invulnerable again. Damn it. He's going invulnerable right when I try and burst. Let's just stay for a quick second here. Let's go with a double burning tick. Oh, and again. Do like me some alacrity, some open world alacrity. Grab the grinding stones. Time to go back into Earth for a second. And then maybe something like this. Oh. Okay, do cheeky cleanse. I'll actually pop the active on the hill. Hardly maintaining any bleeds on him at all, burns on him at all. Oh, they're saying wait, stop damage. Oh, of course, right, because we have to burn them together. Okay, so we can stop. What's the shield mechanic? What is it that's breaking him through this? Oh, it's only with Dragon's Blood spears. Okay, I see. I really want that break bar down. I bet it's really rare for people to stun him. Looks like we've got maybe one player still attacking. Let's see if we can figure out the class. Looks like probably a Necro to me. Yeah, it is. It's a Necro with minions. It's a minion monster. You can see they're casting Rigor Mortis and stuff. Alright, that did hit. I was stretching. The reason I never dodged that is I had mouse and keyboard. Ugh, I had no hands. Okay, so they want to burn now, I guess? Let Hydra kill first, they're saying.